Welcome back to the Designer's Guide to Electrofolio. Part 3. Editing your template's theme. In this tutorial, we're going to look at making finer adjustments to the template we created in the previous tutorial. So if you'd rather not go deeper into this now, then you can skip this tutorial and move on to tutorial 4. So, let's assume that you've been through the template setup process, which takes us to the end of the previous tutorial. Let's remind ourselves what the site looks like so far by clicking on Live Preview. This is the entry page you created. Now if you click anywhere on this page, you will go to the top level of My Work, which contains the previously created gallery. If you haven't yet watched tutorial 2, go back and do that first. You can see a single gallery in the center of the screen. We need to pay attention to the template theme, which if you remember is the color scheme, the design of the background, the icons and the font. Go back to the main menu and then go to Template Settings. From here you can access all the settings easily. So let's start by editing the extended background. The extended background is the expandable area that runs behind everything in the browser window. Let's change the background color. A color selector appears, and now we can choose a different color from the swatch. The new selected color is previewed here. Before we apply the changes, let's go to the Custom Color tab. Here we can tweak the color using the sliders, or if you're familiar with hex numbers, you could type one in here. Let's just make it a little darker and click OK. Now, let's try adding a background image instead. Click here. There is no image selected yet, so click on Change Image. Bearing in mind that we are editing the extended background, the most appropriate thing to do would be to tile a picture, so that the background is continuous, whatever the size of the monitor the site is being displayed on. So let's open the Tile Picture library. Now we have a choice of textures. Let's choose one. Let's make it black or white. Now click OK, and OK again to confirm our choice. OK, let's try mixing this background image with the color we selected before by choosing the Mix option. You'll notice this mixer has appeared, set at Color as default. Move the slider between the image and the color until you're happy. Click on Proceed. Now we arrive at the next screen of options concerning the fixed area background. This is a rectangle that sits on top of the extended background and delineates the area of a typical page. We have all the same options as before, plus we have two more controls: transparency and corner radius. The default color for the fixed area background is black. So now try sliding the transparency slider and we can see the background layer appear as a rectangle. Now let's try adding curved corners. Slide the corner radius slider, then release the button to preview. When the corners look good, click Save. At this point it would be worth having a look at a live preview of what we've done. Notice the page is now picked out with a semi-transparent rectangle with curved corners. This is the fixed area background that we just added. Let's assume that we're happy with that. So close the Live Preview tab on your browser and let's move to the Font selection. This screen allows you to change the font that is used across your whole site. If you were building a site that contained special characters such as non-Latin or Western European, you need to embed them in your site by ticking this box. Note that not all typefaces have this option. To preview which characters are contained in the selected typeface, you can click on Preview Font Characters button. OK, let's pick this one. Note that each typeface has different proportions of size, spacing and tracking. So if you swap your font, you may need to check your custom pages to make sure the type looks good. Now we have several options concerning type size and spacing. You'll notice there are 5 tabs, each containing several sliders. The tabs refer to different default instances of type that occur on the fixed templates of My Work. If you click here, you will see an example illustrating the different occurrences. You can study this in more detail later, but for the sake of our tutorial, let's have a look at the main titles shown in box number 1. On the Titles tab, we can see the current type size for titles here in this preview window. Let's assume we want to make the titles larger. Just slide the type size to the right. Notice how there's a number that changes as you drag it. This is the actual point size of the type. Now, let's make the character tracking a little wider. Okay, that'll do. Now let's go to the Body Text tab. The body text settings are important for any larger chunks of text, such as description text on slide. Let's edit the line spacing. Okay, good. Now let's say you wanted to allow viewers of your website the ability to copy the text from your descriptions text. Just click this checkbox. That'll do. Let's move on to default colors. This screen concerns text and icon colors. There are 4 tabs on which you can set the default colors. There's an example here to show you the difference between the 4 color situations on the My Work fixed layouts. This is an example showing the preview page of a portfolio. The main text color in this case is white. Red is the highlight color. The 3rd and 4th colors only appear to the items that sit outside the fixed area background. Rollover is the color an item will show when a user places the mouse over it. The main thing to remember about this is that when you change these colors, to make sure that the text in the preview is always legible. Let's change the main text color to make it a little lighter. Save, and then move on. Here we have some settings regarding the positioning of a copyright label in slides. This blue picture box represents a picture in your portfolio. If you wish, you may put your copyright name next to or on each of your pictures. So, for example, if you type your name here and then click here, every slide in My Work will automatically have the defined copyright name under the bottom left corner. If you click here, your pictures will show the name centered, and here on the right corner. The buttons underneath will make the copyright text sit outside the image. If you click here, the copyright name won't show at all. Note there are 2 tabs. The first tab relates to pictures shown in the gallery level of your My Work, and the second tab relates to when pictures are shown in the slideshow mode. Don't forget to put your name here. This sets the default copyright name for the next created slides. If your slides feature more than one person, then we could leave this blank and manually input the copyright name onto each slide you create. We'll look at creating slides in the next tutorial. Let's move on. Don't forget to save. This screen has a choice of icons. Use the drop-down menu to choose from the list of options. You might be wondering where these icons will appear on your site. They are all used in the My Work layouts. Let's have a quick look. Here's the site we are working on. Click to go in. Here's the top level of My Work, which has one gallery, which is the only thumbnail displayed here. Here we have information about the contents. It shows one gallery that contains several slides. If you want to get rid of the icons on your portfolio preview page, use this slider to make them transparent. This will only affect the ones in the top left of the screen, i.e. the icons that show the current level. Nearly there. Let's move on to the next page. Here we have a screen that allows us to rename the My Work navigation icons. If you have multiple portfolios, then the portfolio level will appear. The galleries level shows all the galleries, and the slides level shows the slides inside one gallery. If you are working in 2 languages, then you'll have to put your translations in on the second tab. Okay, we've covered all the advanced template settings. In the next tutorial, we'll be looking at the creation of galleries and slides. Thanks for watching.